Hey there viewers, Mario here. Thank you for tuning in to Super Mario Diagnostics. Really appreciate it. Before anything, I got a disclaimer. This is a nuts and bolts video, hopefully in real time. Customer concern is the steering noise in any position. There's a TSB on it. It's got 43,000 miles, by the way, if that matters. But there's a TSB on it. This happens a lot with Kias and Hyundais. It is the motor driven power steering flexible coupling. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and set up some lights here. Hopefully we could continue giving you guys good shots real quick as we do this live. Well, not live, you know, but hopefully I don't get interrupted. We could do this all in one shot. But we've got a couple of Phillips down here. I'm just making sure that you guys can see this. Got one Phillips down here. Got another Phillips down here. Take off this OBD door. We're gonna push in this pin, move our OBD connector out of the way. I'm gonna shift my camera over here to the side, and we've got a little slot here. Let's see. Take that out. Put it aside. We got two Phillips here. Let's go ahead and remove those. Remove this one too. So far so good. Let me set you guys down. Hope you guys don't mind with the camera. It's a little tricky at times. Pops off. We're gonna have some connectors back here. Now let's see. Got this connector here. There's two connectors there. Put this aside. We're gonna remove this shield, but first let's remove this steering cover here. It's a Phillips. And I'm going to be disconnecting the battery, but I'll do that soon. Oh, you know what? I think I need to move this steering wheel. There may be some bolts. Yep. And put you guys over here. Bolt right here. Do that one by hand. Hopefully this goes along well. I don't run into anything crazy. So we're gonna turn our steering wheel to the other side. Let's set you guys up again. Take this bolt out as well. The reason I'm going to disconnect the battery, I believe I might have to disconnect the airbag connector. So that's the reason for that. So let's turn off this cupboard here. Not easy doing this one-handed. Okay, so we got the cover just about out. The cover is off. Hope you guys saw that. I'm not really checking every single time to see if you guys are being able to see that, but I should. So we've got the shield down here. Let me see where I can set you guys up. Sorry. Should be able to see it there. Got some 10 millimeters. Now what we're gonna have to do is lower down this steering column, access our motor, and then get to our coupling. But I believe I'm gonna have to let go of this harness here, so I'm gonna go disconnect the battery. Let's go ahead and do that. So we got a 10mm there. Let's disconnect our negative. We're supposed to wait a minute, so I'm not going to touch that yellow airbag connector for at least a minute. I mean, the issue is not really disconnecting it, the issue is connecting it, supposedly. So, but just to play it safe, we're going to do it that way. Disconnect our connector here. We got a couple of connectors. This one I'm gonna have to use a little screwdriver to pry back that tab. And there it is. We got one more connector here. This is our yellow airbag connector. I'm gonna leave that for just a little while longer. Let me see where can I set you guys up, because I really want to get this shot, but I don't want to ruin the shot either if I get in the way, you know. I think that's about enough time. These are spring-loaded tabs. They just come out. I believe we got one more for the clock spring. That one it's a little tricky to get to, but just pull back on that tab and give it a little tug and you're good to go. We're also gonna have to remove this connector from its bracket, which is a little tricky to get to the other side of that pin. You know what? I'm gonna have to slide it out. I don't want to break the thing. There it is. There it goes. Nothing broken. Just slide it right back in. Anyway, that's all of our connectors. There's one more little mount that I have to remove. Oops. Sorry about that, fellas. I am using a lavalier mic. This is a wired mic, and when I grab my tool, sometimes it pulls in the camera. Hopefully you guys can see this. This is the little mount that we're going for. I'm just gonna pry that out. And our harness is loose. So let's go ahead and you know what, I'm gonna disconnect this one as well. Seems to be in the way. I really hope you guys are seeing this. I'm gonna remove it from the bracket as well, because it may be yanked on if I lower that motor. The tricky thing is getting that tab. I don't know how you guys are gonna do this without a little pocket screwdriver. You really gotta get one of these. I swear by these things. Anyway. Alright, so we're almost ready to go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let go of these 4 bolts. I haven't done it on this Kia Optima before. I've done them on Hyundais, but it's just essentially the same thing. We're not gonna let go of the rack and pinion. That way we don't lose our steering centering. Let's see if I could bring this down all in one piece though. Use the motors on this side. Let me see how I can bring this down. I'm gonna have to let go of the motor harness. It is connected to the module. Actually, I don't have to bring that down. What I do have to disconnect is this blue tab connector here. It'll yank on it, so just to play it safe, I'm gonna disconnect it. They look like comm wires, they're so thin. But remove your blue tab, pull back on this tab, and it safely comes out. Yep, that's part of the harness, so I don't want to yank that down. It may be helpful to remove this vent here. I want to see where that attaches. That's Phillips. Let me go ahead and remove that. And there, the vent comes out. So now we have our clearance to bring down our motor. So let's see where we can put this harness and keep it out of the way. We're gonna keep it over our wiper activations. Okay, I think we are clear. Let's put this back. So let me get my tools out of the way. These 12 millimeters, all 4. I usually start with the rear, just because it doesn't start falling immediately. Now let it down carefully. You don't want to go crazy. You might want to keep an eye on anything that might be yanking, any harness, any wiring. So carefully bring it down. Yes, there was one more yanking, so good thing we caught that. 2 more yanking, so this one you pull up, pull out, and we should be good to go. The harness is copy on top of the brake switch, so we're gonna move that and carefully lower our steering column here. So we've got to look at our motor. We're gonna remove these bolts here. I'm gonna reposition you guys real quick, and we'll go from there. This is the tricky part. I got this thing here coming down. I don't want to take it out because then it may be a real pain to get it back in. Let me see. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Big mistake even trying. I'm gonna get that fixed, but what can I do to keep this up and out of my way? I think I might have to grab a bungee cord. It's really getting on my nerves. Okay. Sorry about that, fellas. Alright, where can I grab this where it won't be an issue? That's good enough for me. So let me set you guys up here. Where would be a really good spot? I don't think I have much of a choice but to lay you guys down right here. Alright, so we got a couple of torque screws here. It's the black ones, not the silver ones. Do not remove those silver ones. No need to. It's the black ones. So let me grab some Torx. Okay, so it is a T30. Anyone who's interested. Let's get cracking. Oh man, I gotta change out my extension.
What's up, Junior?
What's up?
Recording?
Yes, I am recording. I don't know why they call me Junior. I guess I'm the youngest one here, so. Alright, so we have our 3 bolts out. Let's go ahead and pop this sucker open. Woo! And as you can see, it is gone. Disintegrated. I'm just gonna pick up the camera so you guys can see this as well. Check that out. That's the result. It just completely disintegrates. I guess it's like an engineering issue. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you. Apparently, these cars aren't tested past 40,000 miles worth of steering. Just kidding. I'm not trying to bash. So basically, we clean these out. I'm not gonna blow compressed air into the cabin, so I'm gonna clean it out as best as I can and move on. The good thing is that it kind of sticks to each other, so if you get like one big glob, you can kind of like pick up the rest with that. Kind of like gum. Whoops. Sorry about that. I think I mentioned already, you gotta have a little pocket screwdriver. There's our centerpiece. This thing is like literally like gum right now. It's sticky. I don't really have a vacuum tool, so can't really. I should get one. Can't really suck this out. It's not easy to get this. I mean, my fingers are not that small. You know what? I think I might have no choice but to grab a little blower and get this thing blown out. Be right back. Oh, great. Thank you guys for bearing with me. I'm just like doing a minor cleanup. It's not really, I'm not gonna be able to get all this stuff out. It's so sticky, so gunky that it's fruitless. All right, let's put our new one back in. There's no orientation. You can put it in however you like. There's no right way or wrong way to put it on, just as long as you stick it in there, you're good to go. And that is it. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, at least on the Hyundai, there's no way you could put this motor on in the wrong position. It's got one position. The screws will not line up if you put it in the wrong position. So man, it is not easy in this tight spot, so please bear with me. Where's that last bolt? I know torque Nazis are gonna go crazy, but it's not that big of a deal. Okay, we're set up, so let me set this camera up again so that we can reinstall our steering column. Alright, so with the nut in hand, very carefully, cautiously, we're gonna Reinstall our steering column. Okay, for some reason it went to the right. Oh man, that harness that got clipped by the brake switch is actually the one that's holding us back. You know what? I'm gonna disconnect it. It's a pretty big harness. I mean, it's for the module, but I'm disconnecting that harness, putting it back onto our brake switch. So we should be fine from here on out. I think it's heavier than it looks. Wow. Reconnect my harness so I don't forget. I mean, out of sight, out of mind. If you could do it, immediately do it. If you don't, if it's something that you think is gonna be covered, just do it as fast as you can. I mean, I don't wanna forget and then take it all apart again. I really hope you guys are getting a good shot at this. It would be kind of pointless if you didn't. You know what, let me tighten these up first. Don't tell me these have a hook. I think these got a hook that's holding me. I can't, it's supposed to go in one direction. So I'm gonna have to take these bolts out again. But hey, that's what the video is for. You guys can learn from my mistakes. Now let's see if we can do this again the right way. I didn't even take a look at that hook. I'm not even sure if I'm doing this right. Oh yeah. And there it is. Perfect. So hold up. That hook is pretty useful actually. You can hold up the steering wheel and it won't fall on you. I'd rather do the work that twice now than to do it later. Whoops, yanked on you guys. Sorry about that. See if we did it right this time. Come on now, cooperate, would you? Apologize to my subscribers that do not like nuts and bolts. This is a hall pass. You can just pass on through, but this may be useful to somebody. So once I get my diagnosing cars in, I'll videotape them. But right now I'm kind of in nuts and bolts land. So I figured I'd give you guys something at least that seems to be pretty commonplace. We'll go ahead and snug these up to factory specs. Come on. It's not like we're rebuilding an engine here. Besides, once you've been doing this for a while, you can feel that clamp force, you know? You start to get a feel for it, believe it or not. Oh yeah.
Morning, Mario.
Morning.
Sweating?
Oh yeah. It's okay. Thank you. It's actually the owner of the shop. Is real nice. Just turned on the fan for me. I'm telling you, great shop to work at. I actually used to, believe it or not, I know you guys maybe not like venting or bad mouthing, but you know what? I gotta say it how it is. Shop I used to work at, the guy was like, what do you want fans for? You should live in Alaska. I knew, that's when I realized I was in the wrong place. You know, good employers care for their employees. So we're gonna go ahead and reconnect our module. Seems like they're comm lines. That's what I'm gonna call them, unless I look at a wiring diagram and I could tell you. But you know, right now they look like comm wires. So let's go ahead and put up our harness. Put it back in our tip 'em. I guess you could call that. I don't know if you could call this a tip 'em. Put our mount back on. Let's put this all in order. Make it look nice again. This is our clock spring. Let's put our clock spring back in. Put in our turn signals and wipers controls. Put in our airbag connector. Should just snap right back in. Hopefully no airbag. Hopefully you guys don't witness an accident. I shouldn't be joking about that. Sorry. Alright, this is our wiper controls here. And this is our ignition switch. That mount there. good to go. I'll take one more look around. Hopefully everything is connected. I hope I didn't forget anything. If I did, that would suck. I got my rear ones connected. And I think I'm good to go. So let's put our shield back on. I'm kind of glad he put that fan on. It is really hot. Whoops, this is a 12. I didn't even realize. Hopefully, you know what? Let me put my vent first because that's the thing I took off last. Hopefully I'm not blocking anything with the shield, so let me just put that on if I go too far. And there it is. Where is my Phillips? Here it is. Let's put our shield on. And we are in the home stretch. So let's go ahead and put you guys back up here. Actually, let's put you guys back down here. Sorry about that. I think we might have to offer the customer a replacement for that piece there. That's okay. Everyone makes mistakes. Let's go ahead and lock this up again. Let's go ahead and put our bottom screw. Alright. Oh man, I didn't even see the camera like that. So sorry. Wow. Hope you guys can forgive me on that one. Let's go ahead and put this back on. Hopefully you guys can see this. Let's connect our buttons up. Our dimmer control. Hopefully we don't snag the line. These should pop right in. Got our 4 screws. Let's go ahead and don't forget your OBD connector. You're gonna want to pop that one back in. You could put it upside down if you want to bother somebody. Just kidding. Doesn't really make a difference. Actually, it does go upside down. Totally forgot. There's a one way. I mean, there's no other way to put it on. Okay, that's back in. Let's put it in our door. Oops. It goes on this way. Let's put it in our... I really hope I'm not blocking you guys. That one's good to go. And we've got our 2 screws here and we're done. But you know what? Let me finish off this video already. Show you guys the after, the results. Oh, I gotta connect the battery. Totally forgot. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh man. Let's connect our battery. Sorry for the noise, fellas. We're gonna go ahead and end this right now. Beautiful. Everything works. Our high beams work. Let's see our steering wheel controls. Volume works. And we are all set. Let's see if our dimmer works. Yes, it does. Traction off. Yes, it does. We're all set. Thank you guys for joining me. If you guys went through all this, either you really needed it or you're extremely loyal subscribers, and I want to thank each and every one of you. I really do appreciate it. I wish there were more like you. I hope this could be useful to somebody. I mean, this is real time. Wanted it to be uncut, and we got what we wanted. I'm happy about that. So, you know, if you like what you see, hit like, hit subscribe. Sorry for the long video. It's 43 minutes on the dot, and that's not that bad. That's not that bad. I've had worse, but you know, maybe since it's real time, you guys can follow along. If you've never done this before, maybe you could just get the gist of it, you know, and then tackle it the next day. I don't know. It's really not that big of a deal, but you know, little things here and there can kind of hold you back, and hopefully you guys can learn from my mistakes, you know. Thanks again for watching. My name is Mario, and until next time.